Long live Ghana, man. Long live the baby, man.
One time. So come get to Jenny Mumpire. So come for we are fire. I'm ready, ever to you. Ghana, ready, ever to you. Let me free Ghana. Me man penny a wodi kanu your friend on Dr. Nkrumah. Me mini say na boni my dear na your mama. I send back coupe bi na me ntia eya me nwanwa. Here ono na je fan hu die. Ye na raya sasin ye. Eya body de ma ye. Moja na no me gunya de to ha ma ye. Edru me ne wo guza ye be ye bi ato aso. Tie. Ke na de be ye me ne wa. Ye me ne odi a. Na me ye me ne odi a. Wo so.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Diaspora Weekly. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah and you're watching Diaspora Network Television, DNT. You can find us everywhere on social media at DNT Ghana. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all the other stuff that the young people do. I don't know those stuff. Me, I only use this phone to make calls and they call Snapchat. Look, you can find us there, okay? And our website, our web news portal is www.dntghana.com. You'll find everything you want to know about us from. Plus, we have an app. You can download it from Apple, you can download it from Google Store. That enables you to watch our program all over the globe. Okay, this is Diaspora. Edition is great in the sense that it solves a problem. And you're going to meet my guests in just a minute. But as usual, we have to go to the jungle. So stay tuned for the jungle. In today's jungle, I am just confused, okay? I started out thinking trotro drivers were the rudest group of people on the face of the planet. Today, I stand corrected. They've been beaten by another group, Okada riders. I mean, I don't understand why these people feel, I don't know if they think they are invincible. You're riding on two wheels, unstable. And yet they do some of the craziest things on the road. I'm sure you've run into some of them when they've had an accident. It's very graphic, it's just bad. And you think when they look at these things, it'll educate them to be more careful on the road. But no, I want to know what is the thinking of Okada riders and why they feel like they can do anything and that they're invincible. I mean, this is confusing to me. If you have questions, please reach us through our social media handles. But I just don't understand them. I need some answers because we're going to regulate them, and I just want to know how they feel, why they think they do it that way. Today, that's my angle. I'm just confused. I need some answers. Please help me, okay? Stay tuned. You'll meet my great problem-solving guests in just a minute.
What's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look? Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? You gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized, feel different. Always think specialized. Special ice, natural mineral water. Feel different.
Hello and welcome back. This is Diaspora Weekly. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah, and I'm delighted to be joined by LaShawn Rainey.
Hello.
LaShawn, welcome.
Thank you
You're
very
the
much.
CEO of Rainy Enterprises.
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. First and foremost, I know you're from the States.
Yes.
Let's talk about you.
Okay.
You're a Michigan girl.
Yes, I am.
All right. Tell us about how you grew up in Michigan, the water situation. I know it happened recently,
Well,
but
well,
tell us about.
actually, let me let me first say that I spent most of my life, my younger part of life, growing up in Detroit, Michigan,
Okay.
and then later relocated to Columbus, Ohio.
So you just on the north. You ever been
Yes.
to the south?
Yes, I have been to the South. Actually, my family is originally, my mother's side of family is originally from Forest City, Arkansas.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I got a little Southern in me
Yes.
as well.
All right.
But I spent the majority of my life in the Midwest.
So you've lost the southern drawl.
Somewhat,
Did you ever have it?
sometimes.
Oh, really? That's good.
Yes.
Tell us about Detroit, Michigan. That's where all the cars are made.
Oh yeah, that's Motor City. So my grandparents, and during the early '70s, they worked for Ford Motor Group, as most of the prominent Detroit citizens did. So I grew up with that. I am actually a motorhead myself, so I have a love for old school cars and bikes. So,
And you're a Michigan
oh yeah, I'm a Michigan
fan.
fan. Yes.
And of all the places you relocated to enemy territory.
Well, that was not my doing. Again, I grew up, mainly as a younger child in so-called enemy territory, but that was during the earlier parts of my
And for the rest of you, enemy territory is Columbus, Ohio, where the Ohio State University, the Buckeyes, you know what? I was going to say something, but they would take it wrongly.
I was a small girl, about 7 years old when I relocated to
that's
to
good.
Ohio.
So are you a Bad Boys fan? The Isaiah Thomas Pistons?
No, actually, when it comes to NBA, I'm a Lakers fan, so I'm a
Lakers.
diehard Lakers fan.
Yeah, you know
That's
basketball.
right.
You know basketball.
I love basketball.
Right. Well, so who's your favorite player?
Of all time, Kobe Bryant. May he
Oh
rest in
yeah,
completeness.
double that.
May he rest in completeness.
Okay, I know we're going to talk about what you're doing here in Ghana, but this argument between Kobe and Michael, where do you stand on that?
Well, the thing is this, what they have to understand is that you're talking about two great players, but the skill levels were different. So, Michael Jordan, Air Jordan himself, was known for the dynamics of being able to control the air. That's where he was crowned that title. And then you had Kobe. Kobe was just magnificent, floor-wise. I mean, you really can't compare the two because there were two different eras and two different techniques of style of basketball.
Have you thought about the fact that during the Michael Jordan era, there were very few real superstars. So he stood out. I mean, when he makes a move, and at the time,
It's
I
phenomenal.
remember,
You're talking about you're talking about a real live Superman.
Yeah.
So just defeating the heights of gravity.
Yeah,
That's what he
exactly.
was known for.
Right. So it made him stand out,
Yeah.
right? But today, those moves, high school kids make those moves in their sleep. You see where I'm getting?
Right.
And so when you take this is my argument for Kobe. Kobe links the two eras.
Yeah.
Kobe did well in that era as well as that era. That's why I give my marks to Kobe. But
Yeah.
that's another story. Welcome again.
Thank you very much.
What brought you to Ghana?
Well, I've always wanted to come to Africa. Even as a young girl, I envisioned coming to Africa. And I would say during the earlier part of 2017, I started doing some research online, and Ghana was like the first country that appeared.
Oh,
So I actually started networking. I actually had even came up with a tour, actually developed a tour, arranged a tour for 2018. I ended up getting sick, falling ill, and not able to complete the tour myself. So others came from America, and I ended up coming 2019 by myself.
Okay.
And I've been coming back and forth to Ghana since.
Since then. So if you were doing a research about Africa in 2017, and how did Ghana pop up? Because that was before the year of return. I mean, after the year
Right.
of return, Ghana was all over the place. But this was 2017.
Yes, and it was the, and let me tell you, I was on Facebook, right?
Okay.
So I was doing some browsing, and I came to a page, and I've seen, the Canopy Walk, and come and explore Africa, but why not Ghana? And I was just skimming through that page, and I was like, wow, this is very interesting. So that's what drew me to Ghana. And then, ironically, this is like, I feel like it was divine intervention. Because when I went back to that page about, say, 8 months later, it was gone.
Oh,
It was,
wow.
And I looked for the individual that posted and
So it
could
was
never.
a person, an individual's page that you saw
Yes.
that. Interesting.
But the individual was very, informative, knew the country very well.
Okay.
History, and that's what intrigued me
Okay.
during the time that I was doing my research and following this particular page because of all the information, all of the activities, all of the actual, footage that was being published on the page.
Yeah.
And then going back, it's not there, even to
So-
this day.
Yeah, and you organized a tour, and then you ended up
Yeah.
not making it out. Of
I organized a tour for Ghana 2018, and I didn't get a chance to make it on the tour.
Oh, that must have been disappointing.
It was, but you know what? It was later. It became very fulfilling because by way of that tour, I had a godson and goddaughter on that tour. They came back to Ghana, and now they relocated and moved to Tanzania.
Wow.
So they're in
your
Tanzania
first time
now.
of setting foot on the African soil was when?
2019, June of 2019.
What month? Do you remember?
June 2019.
Wow. You've been here barely 2 years ago.
Yes.
Just a little over 2 years ago.
Yeah, coming and going.
Wow.
So
And so, what was it like when it first landed?
it was like, I can't explain the feeling. It was like overwhelming. But it was like a sense of, anxiousness had been lifted off of me. And I felt like relief. And I can't lie, it was a kind of culture shock, stepping off the plane and then going to certain areas. I was like, you know what, I'm
You
about to
didn't
go.
kiss the ground, did you?
Actually, I ran barefooted.
Okay, others kiss the ground. You ran barefooted
Yeah.
from
I
the
ran-
airport.
No. Well, when I got off the plane and when I got the taxi, I ran barefooted. So yeah,
Wow, very good.
I had to let my feet touch the ground.
Those of us who have gone to the United States, I can tell you the feeling, and I think I speak for a lot of Africans. You sit in Africa, you watch America, like wow, and then you finally get there, and the wow factor starts to diminish when reality starts to hit you in the face. And then there's a certain point where disillusionment actually sets in because you're like, is this the America that I saw from
Right.
Ghana? Right? Did you get that feeling with Ghana?
No,
Really?
no,
Ghana is everything you dreamed of.
it was.
Wow.
It is, and it has been.
What did you find that augmented whatever you started out thinking about Ghana?
Nothing augmented set in place in regards to, what people may have thought. I developed my own sense of acceptance in
Okay.
regards
So
to
you
just
didn't
knowing
think-
and wanting.
You didn't start out thinking we live on trees.
No, never. What is that?
I mean, look, in
It's
this
foolishness,
day and age,
but yes, in this day and age, and as I speak to other people, because I met several Ghanaians that stated that even when they came to America, they were met with that type of ignorance. Well, we've been told that people live in Africa live on trees, and I'm just like, wow.
oh, you're talking to one of them. Somebody asked me,
And it's very disappointing, and it's very disheartening because I
Not
can
to me.
honestly say,
not to me,
not to you.
the young lady that asked me that, I'll tell you exactly what I told her. Do you guys live on trees? I said, oh yes, we do actually. And then I pointed to a friend of mine. I said, you see, from my tree to his tree, I have to swing like 5 times. And then as I'm describing that, she looked so dumb.
Right.
That's how I, you know.
That's how you manage
exactly.
to.
So
Yeah, but
yeah,
throughout the ignorance.
yeah.
And sometimes I will joke with it too, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, we don't want our children,
Mm-hmm.
to have that persona.
Yeah.
And that was one of the other things that has been, so rewarding for me to be here so my children can
Okay.
see, that the stereotypes and the stigma
It's-
that have been painted against Africa are actually false.
Your children, still back in the States?
Yes,
right?
they are.
And
So
what kind
now-
of questions do they ask you when they go back?
Oh, they asked me everything. The biggest thing was like, I think my youngest grandson, because I also have grandchildren too, and he was like, "Grandma, is the giraffes running down the street?" I'm like, "I'm not in that part of Africa, dear."
You got to go to Kenya for that. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an industry. It's
Yeah.
not as if Kenya is
Yeah.
pretty developed and everything.
But my children, they're adults and they're open-minded, and I've always talked about Africa
Okay.
to them.
So
as
you
a-
live here or you live back in the
I'm living here by coastal, so I'm here. I've
Oh,
been here.
bi-coastal.
So to
Somebody
say,
said bi-continental.
bicontinental.
Yeah, bi-coastal. Yeah, so you maintain a residence in both. Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yes.
When you got here, did you plan to maintain a residence here or?
I had no idea what
Yeah.
I was going to do. I just kind of went with the flow of things.
Okay, and so when you got here, what got you to stay?
The people.
Ah,
Yes.
what did we do?
I met some very beautiful people. My most exciting and well sought out trip was to the north. In
Okay.
Tammany, I went to a village in Wali Wali
Okay.
and spent time with an elderly lady that was 108 years old, and just taking that whole entire day sitting with her and just listening to her. That's what made it.
And you've been to the
More.
dungeons?
Yes, I have.
Okay. What did it feel like?
It was, I felt it was very emotional, just going through the dungeons and, seeing the place where our ancestors were chained and listening to the guides and the narrative that was being told. It was very heartbreaking.
Yeah. There are two sets of emotion, anger or sadness. Which one did you
I
experience?
felt both.
Both? Really?
Yes.
Did it change your perception about, or your impression about white people?
Actually, my impression about white people were already there in place prior to such.
Because in Detroit, I think it's pretty visible, right?
It's visible now everywhere,
Everywhere.
So, I've been pretty acclimated
Okay.
with such. I mean, and of course, coming from America, you cannot help to, it's there. It's
Yeah.
front row, center,
Right.
in your face.
Yeah. Even more so now. Mm-hmm. But you know
Right.
who?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the tension is still there.
Yeah. All right. So you got here and you decided to stay, but not just stay. You are actually you're helping to solve a very important problem. Tell us about that.
Well, during the end of 2020, I was invited as a guest speaker to come and speak on behalf of youth empowerment and women empowerment by an NGO called Thinking Minds Ghana. So being that it has also been a part of my very mission in regards to advocating on behalf of the youth. This is what I've done for the past 15 years in the United States. I advocate on behalf of abandoned children, displaced children, abused children, the homeless, and the disabled. So when I was asked to come and speak, it was a no-brainer. I quickly accepted the invitation and I came. So during that time, the founders of Thinking Minds Ghana were trying to introduce a new initiative. And that was to bring street hawkers off of the sides of the road and educate them and put them into a program to where they would be able to develop job readiness training in order to them to be able to afford a better lifestyle and to provide for their families. And that was called the MAG program. But they faced a lot of difficulties, a lot of resentment. From I don't want to be all.
Well, I mean,
I mean, yes, but they were not, let's say they were not, for lack of better words, not getting the support,
okay.
as they suspected in regards to when they first, introduced the program. So when I seen how hard that it was that they were trying to introduce this, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I, I left from being a guest speaker to now becoming the one that launched the MAG program, making Ebola Girls great.
Wow. You're a quick learner, are you?
I would say that I am.
You're a quick learner. You know why I say that?
Why?
I asked you a question and you said, well, I don't want to offend some people. That's not typical of someone from the United States where you've lived all your life speaking your mind and everything. Why do you now see the need that, hey, maybe I'll keep this from the public eye?
I mean, humble and humility.
Humble and humility. Have you been burned before?
Yes.
Like you mentioned?
Plenty of
somebody's
times. Yes.
name, where it's not supposed to be and there's...
My thing is this, they say when you speak, if the shoe fits, then wear it.
Okay.
So my thing is this, by way of me speaking, and hopefully if some are watching today, then they will be able to...
without mentioning the
I
name.
don't have to mention the names of
Wow.
those who have made promises,
And didn't fulfill them.
and didn't fulfill them.
Wow.
They know who they are.
Okay.
And they are here, by the way,
And they're
in
here?
Ghana. Yes,
They're
they
here
are.
in Ghana? Wow.
And very prominent places.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they are.
This is where I would tap into, if I had the skill. You know how some interviewers are able to get some stuff out of you that you don't want to? But, you can tell me. Nobody's listening.
No. We don't be messy.
Okay.
And I'm still such a lady.
All right. What about the street hawkers?
Yes, so the program,
How did they respond to it?
they love it.
Oh, really?
Yes. I think initially, and this is one of the first things, and I'm going to speak this. So when the program was first announced, and we spoke and said, I actually said, we're going to do it, there were some challenges because of COVID, and I did end up going back to the United States, and I caught COVID myself. So one of the things that really hit me was one of the young girls came to me, and she said, we thought that you were just like the rest. We thought you were a politician because they lied to us. And I said, I'm not a politician. I'm just an ordinary lady that wishes to see you well and want to see you well.
Okay.
But I gave you my word, and I'm here, and we're going to make it happen.
Okay. So somebody told me that these people, the street hawkers, they actually make more money than we anticipate. We think they do. Is that true or not?
I wouldn't say, probably in their eyes. And I say that because, again, if you have been introduced to a lifestyle, and that's all that you know, then of course you're going to see that lifestyle as being the best lifestyle, and you're making a certain amount of money, and someone is coming to tell you, say, oh, that's a lot of money. Of course it's going to be a lot of money for one.
Money. This is a number. I mean, we have people working in offices with shirt and tie and dress corporate, and at the end of the month, they'll be lucky to go home with about 1,200 Ghana cedis. And I'm told these young ladies make a whole lot more than that.
No.
True or false?
That's false.
They don't.
They
Okay.
don't.
So how do they transition from that kind of lifestyle to a structured one?
By being given a structure.
Okay. And
By-
they respond positively right away?
Oh,
too?
yes,
Right?
yes. And I think that's what needs to take place, especially with our youth. You see, those of us as adults, we are the first teachers, mothers and fathers. And even though some of these children may not be our biological children, I still see them as our children. So, as the African proverb goes, it takes a village to raise a child. So those of us that are willing to come forward and mentor, we have to be the ones to show them a better way.
Okay.
And of course, their idea of what success looks like, based upon what they've been taught, is going to determine what their future is going to be moving forward. So if the child does not have vision, the child is going to stay stagnant. But if you give a child a vision, then they have something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
You create
Yeah.
the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And all they have to do is walk through it.
Okay. So, how have you gotten them off the streets? Is it a school? Is it a camp?
Yes. Our MAG Training Center officially opened its doors this past January 24th, and we enrolled our first 40 students
Okay.
of 300 applicants. So there's 260 on the waiting list.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Tell you what. We're getting into the meat of the conversations, but time is up. We got to go on a break. When we come back, we continue our conversation, dive into the school where these young ladies are actually taking off the streets and put in a structured environment. This is Diaspora Weekly. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
What's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look? Special eyes makes you feel real good. That refreshing right. Special eyes satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you glow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized, feel different. Always think specialized. Special ice, natural mineral water. Feel different.
All right, welcome back to Diaspora Weekly. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah, and I've been joined by LaShawn Rainey, from CEO of Rainey Enterprise.
Yes.
What's the name of the school?
The school is MAG. It's called Making Abolo Girls Great.
Making Abolo Girls Great.
Yes.
That sounds like a certain making and great that doesn't resonate very well with me, or I'm sure
I know
to you.
when we hear MAG. So that was the spin-off of, and trust me, I questioned it at first. However, it was kind of catchy, and I said, you know what, this is kind of like a slap in the face to that one.
Yeah,
But-
so yours is MAGG.
Yes, Making Abolo Girls,
Girls
Great.
You just take out the end G and you put an A, then we're talking about something entirely different.
Yeah, but remember, that's like MAGA. That's MAGA.
Okay, I will leave this. So MAG Academy, right? Or is it?
It's the MAG Academy.
It's
Yes,
the MAG Academy.
Yes, the MAG Academy.
All right. Is this an organization owned, or is this something you started from scratch?
This is actually grassroots effort of the collaboration between Rainey Enterprises and the NGO Thinking Minds Ghana.
Okay.
So Thinking Minds Ghana is an organization and that has been influential in improving the conditions in their community there in the lower municipality of Pong, in the eastern region.
Free SHS came in I think 2017 or 2018 thereabouts. It didn't get them off the street. How is it that you were able to get them off the street into a structured environment? I mean, I'm sure they would say, "Oh, I don't have anybody to take care of me for secondary school or whatever." Well, it's free now. You don't have to worry about money.
Exactly.
They still didn't go, but you've been able to move them. What did you do differently?
Just show up and do what I said I was going to do.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And what is that?
Bring them the vision.
The vision?
That started actually with the building. So before anything took place, before paint was on a wall, before there was even a building, there wasn't even a building. The day that I left out of the invite of speaking, I went and secured the building.
Okay.
So I think that's what started it all.
Okay, very
And it
good.
was introducing them to where their future school was going to be.
Okay. And where is the school located?
The school is located in the lower part of eastern region of Pong. So
Okay.
it's right before you get near the Antipoko Bridge.
Why all the way there?
Well, that's where the girls are from.
Okay.
And that area is very impoverished.
Okay.
And
Oh, so
per
you
the
know what? When I was talking about So these people make a lot of money and everything. I'm probably thinking street hawkers in Accra. Yeah, because I don't think the price points over there is.
And you also know that the young girls have a madame, a bolo madams, which is the prominent item that is being sold in
Oh, okay. The madame, what is that?
a bolo madame, so mistresses. So they report to a madame in which they get a percentage, usually 20% of sales.
Whoa. Time out.
Yes.
These girls go through the sun and
Yes.
sell and everything, and at the end of it, they or whatever, they give a percentage to
Yes.
some comfortable madam sitting under air conditioning somewhere. No, please tell me you're not telling me this. I never knew that. These girls on the street have a madam that they report to,
Yes, they do.
even here in Greater Accra, or maybe.
I don't know here in Greater Accra, but I know in Pong. That is how.
So when you got them off the school, you must have stepped on some serious feet.
Well, this is the thing for respect in regards to their madams. We came to an arrangement to where the girls are able to attend school. The certain days that they're not able to, then some of them do report back to the madams. But the whole initiative is to eliminate that. And
But that's making the deal with the devil, though, don't you think?
not necessarily, because I also have another plan in place, and that is where we want to introduce the madams as well to furthering their education.
Oh, those madams also.
Exactly, because some of the madams are also enrolled in our school. So there are the age ranges between the age of 13 on up to 35.
So I'm guessing the older ones are the madams,
Yes,
and you got them in the school
as
also.
well.
Interesting. I also noticed that it's mostly girls.
We do have a couple boys, so it is not, strictly for girls. It's actually for any young woman or young man that wishes to pursue a career in either fashion, design, cosmetology. I mean, this is 2022, so you have both in both areas.
So you said you have 40 students and you have a waiting list of 260.
Yes,
How are you
260.
gonna- What do you have a plan in place to get the 260 in? Because if you don't use them, you lose them.
Right. So I'm hoping that there would be those that will come forward and will be able to secure additional sponsorship, because actually we would need a bigger facility, because I would like to and would have loved to be able to can bring in all 300 applicants.
Right.
And that is what we desire to do before the end of this year.
So then you have a sponsor, it seems like, right?
Not as of now.
Oh, really?
No.
So how do you,
Me.
money from your pocket?
Yes.
That's even, wow.
I
You're an
have.
angel. You're funding this whole thing from your pocket, and you're not getting anything in return.
We've had several sponsors that have, come and made donations
Donations here and there.
here and there.
But
And,
doesn't-
and again, we thank you all for such. But we need much, much, much more. Yes.
Well, you have some potential sponsors watching you right now.
I
That's
hope
the
so.
camera. Make a pitch to them. Talk to them.
And I
while they
hope
shoot.
so. For those of you who are watching, those of you who believe in empowering your youth, I ask that you extend your hand, even if it's even coming to donate your time, volunteer your time. You can find us on Facebook, Thinking Minds Ghana, www.thinkingminds.org. Follow us on Facebook and reach out. We need you. The youth need you. This is all about our youth, because the future leaders are the youth. Without them, if we're not able to properly educate them, put them in position to be able to sustain, then that means that the country and our livelihood does not sustain, because they are the ones that will control it later on as we continue to grow old ourselves. So I find it very, very necessary for those to come forward and to help do this.
That's very good. From my perspective, and as I told you earlier, I look at, I'm a problem-solving thinker. And when I see something like this, I start to analyze, okay, how do you get them off the street, blah, blah, blah. And to know that you're doing it is very, very great. But I'm
Yes.
sure, like everything else, when you're trying to do something good, there's going to be culture influenced pushback.
Yes.
Did you face some of those?
I would say not really. I haven't faced that. And I think maybe because I'm very much acclimated with the culture.
The African culture already?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, you've been here only 2019.
I'm very much Ghanaian
Yeah,
already.
you're a quick learner. You're a quick learner. I forgot. You speak any. I wouldn't be
I'm
surprised.
learning.
If you,
I'm learning.
What do you speak?
Oh, the basics, what I want to say, I can respond, hey,
Okay, all
and
right.
Madase
Very
Pa,
good.
Kwaba.
That's
So,
Papa and all those things. Well,
So I still
there are
need to learn.
There are always naysayers. And interestingly enough, I put something on my Facebook as a joke a long time ago. Okay. Back in the States, if I'm coming from, say, work to the house and I needed medication, I had to pull up in the drive-through at Walgreens to pick it up. If I needed a burger, I had to pull up at, say, Whataburger or McDonald's or those. If I needed, they were specialized. I had to make these different stops. Over here, I may not get burger. In fact, you can get some food on the street. If I leave Accra and I'm coming to East Legon, I can pretty much do my shopping before I get here. So what's wrong with that?
there's very much wrong with that.
That we have a unique one size fit all merchandise drive through, where in the States I have to make several stops. So now you're taking my convenience from me.
So, out of convenience for you wanting to stop on the side of the road and purchase from a street hawker. So, say on a certain day that you do that, and there's a moving vehicle in front of you that hits one.
Does that happen
Are you gonna?
often?
It happens very
Those
often.
people are more experienced. Sometimes I wonder how they do it. They're very skilled at navigating. So I mean, I've been here for a long time. I haven't seen one get hit yet.
80% of street hawkers are either hit, maimed during the course of the time that they are on the streets
Oh,
within a
really?
year's time. Yes.
They don't carry themselves like that. They don't carry themselves like they
They
are
do.
afraid of. Okay.
Well, if that's been your only means of income, think about it. What else do they know
Yeah,
unless they're taught something new?
yeah, that's really laudable. And so, do you plan to extend it to Accra? Because I think the numbers are really, really. Or is it?
I would like to.
You'd like to?
I would like to do much more.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we
But-
can have the MAG program across Ghana.
Across Ghana?
Yes.
Okay. Do you find that the street hawkers in the countryside are different in demeanor from those in the street?
No different.
No
I wouldn't say.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, Ghana is Ghana,
Yeah.
so we know the mode,
The
and
mode.
we know
And
the tone.
You say some of these street hawkers have children.
Yes.
Okay. And now what does your program cater for the children? While you're-
Our whole initiative is to be able to eliminate single parenting.
Okay.
And all in all. But yes, for some of the young girls that are in class, we have developed a module that even allows them to attend classes on the weekends.
Okay.
In hopes if they're not able to come daily, then they're able to at least come on a weekend if there is an issue with child care through the week in which they're unable to attend.
Okay. So I think you've been in operation for how long now again?
We've opened our doors. We're only 3 weeks in class.
3 weeks. Okay.
Yes.
No, so far no dropouts yet.
No.
Good. Good.
No.
And I've seen pictures on your Facebook. You can reach them by Facebook anyway. They've got everything there. You have commencements. You said one of the pictures you
Our
showed us-
commencement ceremony was this past January 24th. So
Okay.
you'll see it there on the Thinking Minds Ghana Facebook
Okay.
page.
So in this case, the commencement was actually the beginning.
Yes, the beginning of our first classes.
First class. Okay.
Yes.
You know, back in the day, commencement means something.
No, commencement of our first classes.
Okay,
So
all right.
commencement of our first
Okay.
classes.
All right. When you told me, I thought you had already graduated people. So how long is a course?
We're running accelerated courses, so we anticipate our first graduates to graduate no later than February of next year.
Oh, okay. So it's about a
Yes.
year. Think you'll be able to sustain them for a year?
Yes, they
How are
will.
you going to make up for the lost income?
the lost income again, they also what they'll be able to do through the course of learning. Now, with the sewing classes and the design, they'll be able to then start making products that they'll also be able to sell as a way to support themselves. It would be for MAG, however, it will also give them income. That's what we're looking forward to possibly doing towards the latter part of this year, is allowing them that. And I'm also going to be doing a fashion show for them, which will allow them to display for our more accelerated students, because they are quick learners from what I have experienced, because I did teach the last 2 classes. So I taught our cosmetology classroom about 2 weeks ago, and they learned very quickly. So
Why are you doing this?
because it needs to be done, why not?
Most people come here with the little money we've saved from the United States. We come and invest for a return. You're not getting a return from this.
I don't want to.
How are you going to sustain yourself?
I work for myself. I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So why not create other entrepreneurs?
Okay.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay,
I'm
very
here to better the economy and to create a class of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And that's what I want. That it will be my reward to see that I was able to change the lives of those that needed someone that believed in them.
Right. Lower Manyakobo area, how has the community received the initiative?
Oh, they've been overwhelmed, very excited.
Really?
And I'm happy. I will not change this decision that I've made, not at one point. I have no regrets in doing this.
But frustrations, I'm sure you've run into those. You can't come to Ghana and
Oh, if we're talking about overall Ghana itself, a lot of frustrations.
yeah.
But I'm learning to adapt, but it's fine.
You don't seem faced by a lot of things. Mm-hmm. I mean, me, I get passionate. If something is not right, I can get really, really, really.
I am. I'm very much like that. And the one thing I could tell you, so let me tell you, I don't like being told something and not by someone and they don't make the
Like
yeah, broken promises. I hate broken promises.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I become very, very passionate about someone telling me that they're going to do something and don't do it. Oh, that drives me even more harder and harder.
And you've been in Ghana, you're doing this with as if, oh, everything is hunky-dory. I mean, I don't want to be negative or anything, but I'm sure you're glossing over certain things, and I want to know what the
Traffic.
traffic. There's no traffic in Lower Manyakobo, is there?
Coming and going.
Yeah,
You know, leaving a crowd, coming back into a crowd. Oh, it can be very hectic.
yeah.
You know?
But I mean, if people start praising you, like, oh, thank God you're doing that, I know there's going to be some jealous people.
I am humble. I'm not here to serve the jealous people. I'm here to serve.
But
my
have you
Creator.
seen any of those?
I've seen some. And then,
Really?
you know, we had some little, you know, commentary during the first time we opened up the school. Oh, it's not big enough. I thought it was going to be much bigger. I'm like, oh, look at this.
Wait.
Look at this.
They did not open it. And
Right.
you came here 2 years ago, open it, and it's not big enough.
It's not
Wow.
big enough.
Okay. Now, what I want to ask you,
It will be bigger.
It does take, mostly from United States, it takes a long time
Yes.
getting familiar.
Oh,
you
yes.
just hit the ground running. Has that always been what you do? Is that you drew from a background from the States or what? Because, I mean, the first time you came here is 2019.
Yes.
2 years later, you've opened a school. Who does that?
I don't know. Miss Rainey.
Miss Training.
Miss Rainey.
Okay. So where do you see the Rainey Enterprise MAG Academy 5 years from now?
Hopefully with another 99 programs just like it.
Oh wow.
That's my
good.
vision board.
That's good. So then, in addition to training, hands-on, hand skills, I'm sure you've taken a consideration over training those who might also be trainers
Yes,
themselves. Okay.
as well.
Okay, very good. All right. We're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into the bigger picture. Government, Ghana, what could be done, what is going on well, what's not going on well. Stay tuned. She doesn't want to go there, but I'll take her there. This is Diaspora Weekly. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
What's cool, fresh and trendy with a new look? Special eyes. Makes you feel real good. That refreshing right. Special eyes. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you glow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized, feel different. Always think specialized. Special Ice Natural Mineral Water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hello and welcome back. This is Diaspora Weekly. My name is Jermaine Nkrumah and I'm joined by LaShawn Rainey of Rainey Enterprise, CEO, and you've got the MAG Academy going. When you came back, I know if Michigan is anything close to Houston, you don't see people selling on the streets.
Not really. You might see a little. No.
Do they? On the streets?
Oh,
Selling?
they have water boys and water girls.
On the streets in Detroit?
Detroit, Ohio, during the summertime.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those. Maybe it's too hot in Houston. So.
Yeah, my goddaughter actually is a former street hawker.
Really?
She used to sell cupcakes, yes.
Interesting. But did it surprise you that there's so many? I
Oh,
mean,
it
the
really
numbers.
did coming here. And I was just like, why are so many people on the street selling things?
Selling things. Yeah.
What is this?
And what? So, was that? What got you into think? Because your background is lifting children from poverty.
Yes.
So, of all the myriad of issues that you saw here, is that what caught your attention? Or
Yeah,
something else?
just the conditions, you know, and it bothers me.
Okay.
You know, it bothers me. I mean, anywhere I go, I don't like seeing homeless people, especially those that have disabilities. I notice that there's a lot here. I have a big issue with that.
Okay. Why do you think there are so many of them, though? I mean, if you were to put a finger on the reason why, because I've traveled Lagos, Nigeria, Germany, United States. I haven't seen that phenom until I came back. Why do you think there's that sheer volume of people on the streets?
Well, I think because there's a lack of social programs put in place to combat it.
Okay.
You know, and I have to question that. Why? You know, Ghana is one of the richest countries in Africa. So
Say that again.
Ghana is one of the richest
Okay.
countries in Africa.
You have to explain that.
And at number 8, with having a GDP of $50 billion US
Okay.
dollars.
Yeah, GDP
That is-
of 50 billion.
Yes,
Yeah,
GDP.
You're right.
Yes.
But per capita, it's only about $2,200.
And we have to question that's why.
Yeah. So when you say rich, are you talking about resources or raw cap?
And there's enough resources here that are, you know, that there's being produced. There's mining going on here. So that means that if there's mining and there's now I know there's oil here.
Yeah.
Then we have to question, then why aren't there certain programs in place to help eliminate poverty, especially with the increasing number of people that you see on the streets, disabled, maimed,
Yeah.
and without.
Yeah. You know, there's a fine line between criticism and offering ideas, right? So now let me put you in front of the Minister for Gender and Social Protection. If you were sitting in front of her right now, what would you tell her? What ideas would you give her?
I would actually I would suggest that there be programs put in place that will allow people to be trained. Those that are disabled, I would ask that there be programs that help with rehabilitating them, getting them off of the streets.
And you know what she's going to tell you, right?
No, I don't.
No money.
I don't understand why not.
There's no cash. We may have it in gold, we may have oil, but I'm sitting here as a Minister of Gender and Social Protection, and I can tell you I don't have the budget to do what you're asking me to do.
So then I'm going to ask you to find the budget to do what I need you to do
How?
by going and tapping someone higher than you that's in position.
Okay. So if you can't get it from the government, you have to get it from funding source like NGOs across the globe and things like that.
Or the funders that fund, because there are many funders on the outside.
Okay.
You know, other countries, those that have been afforded to come and establish business here, like those from China and Lebanon and Germany.
You know,
Quite a few.
I'll go back to my restaurant days. I was a manager of restaurant, and every evening I have a couple of homeless guys who come here and say, "Oh, we'll sweep your compound, we'll wash dishes for food." And then, I'll let them do it, and I'll give them free pizzas and stuff. One day I asked them, I said, "Wait, in Houston there are places you can go and eat for free. Mission, I've forgotten the names, but there are a lot of these missions.
Yeah, there are
Right.
a lot of missions.
Why don't you
around.
go there?" And what they told me, no, too much rules, too many rules. You know, they don't obey. They didn't want to obey the rules. They like the freedom of being homeless and doing whatever. Do we have some of that love for freedom and be able to come to work when I want to, make what I want to? I can charge 5 cities for this bottle for those who need it so bad but don't know how much it really costs. So why should that be taken off and go into a structure?
Why not? Because structure brings discipline.
Yeah, but they don't see it like that.
Some may not, but there's others do. And without you going and being able to communicate and see exactly what they're thinking, how can you determine who does and who doesn't?
So if I'm in the street right now and I'm watching this show, that's your camera. Talk to me. Why should I leave the street?
You should leave the streets because there are people that care about you. And there are people like me here that are willing to give you a chance if you want it bad enough. So you should come and find me so that we can discuss what type of programming that we can even create to put you in, or what type of solutions we can have for you.
Yeah.
But the willpower has to be there. That's our greatest gift. We all have willpower. So is the choice of choosing. We all have that. That's something that a rich man and a poor man both have.
Yeah. And there's something that we don't know when we're young, right? When you're young and energetic and you're strong, you think you'll be like that forever. But if you don't sow the basis, you don't get your foundation for an older age. I mean, today when you're 19, 20, hey, you can run and chase cars. Somebody wants to buy, you can chase. But 30 years from now, you're not going to be able to do that.
Right. So that's why they have
And
to
if
be.
you don't set the foundation today,
Yes.
you're not preparing yourself for that future.
Exactly.
Do you think they understand that?
If they've never been taught it. So think about it. If you are born into a certain level of thinking and you're introduced into an environment in which your mother's or father's have lived this entire way all their life, what else would you know if you're not taught anything different?
Okay, so from the government side, I just put you in front of a minister and you said, go find the money. But from a policy standpoint,
Yeah, policy.
if you were to enact, if you have the power to snap a finger and there's a policy that will get them off the street, besides the NGO approach that you're doing, and you have to have a government policy that get them off the street, what would that policy be like?
That policy would be strictly ran by those that share the same passion as I, for one. Because I'm a firm believer that the only way something can get done, especially when it comes to community involvement and empowerment is people that have the passion for it. So that's where it has to start. You have to have people in place with the passion that want to see the betterment of others.
Yeah.
So that's very much important.
Back in the States, if my child of school going age did not show up in school, I can actually be taken to court.
Right. So yeah.
So that work here?
That all depends. I see with me not being here long enough, I don't know the laws yet.
Okay.
And then that would make one have to question the laws in place in regards to policy and what governs them.
Okay.
To make them stand.
We're wrapping up in the final minutes. What message do you have to Ghana in terms of your acceptance and what you want to do here and where you see the path that you're going 5 years from now?
In regards to the people of Ghana watching, there are those of us that have come because we believe in bettering the country. We want to be able to do so, but we can't do it without the rest of you. If you see it and you believe it, then join us in being able to create a better Ghana, a better future here, because it's here and it's doable. But it just takes the right people, those who all have the same vision and those that strive and want to create a better tomorrow. We all have the ability to do so. We all woke up. Every day that you are given another breath of life, you have the ability to do and achieve greatness. And that is what we're here to do. When my girls come into that room, the first thing I tell them, we are great. And they know to say, yes, we are. Because we are that. It is by the people, through the people. The power lies in the people.
Very good. And how can they reach you?
Again, my name is LaShawn Rainey. I am on Facebook. You can find our Instagram page at Making Ebola Girls Great. Facebook, Thinking Minds Ghana, and Rainey Enterprises.
Can you give a phone number or not?
Oh, phone number. I can be reached on WhatsApp, +1 614 927 7243. If you'd like to reach the offices directly, Thinking Minds Ghana, our number is on the Facebook page. So it is there.
And on that note, I would like to thank you for the young ladies, the 28 young ladies and 2 young men that you got enrolled in the first class.
Good.
On behalf of them, I want to thank you because this is something that's really dear to our hearts.
Thank you very much for having me.
I ask devil's advocate questions, but I really think you're doing a great job.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This has been Diaspora Weekly episode that's dear to my heart, but unfortunately we have to bring it to an end. So I want to thank you, the viewer, and don't forget that this program was brought to you by TapTap Send, the money transfer company based out of UK, but run completely by Ghanaians, Africans. You can send money from about a dozen countries in Europe, including actually Canada and United States, to about 19 countries in Africa. And the transfer is both ways. And so they work. Now, here's the good part. You download their app from Google or Apple, and you use DNT as the code, you get your first $10 free, or £5 or €5 free towards your first transaction. And so we thank you, TapTap Send, for sponsoring our event. This is Diaspora Weekly, and I thank you for watching.
Yeah.